There are essentially kind of two people that you often meet at events. And one is typically, I'm just going to call them a pusher. They're a pusher of themselves, of their work, of whatever it is that they've done. And then there are those who I'm not sure what the opposite of a pusher is, but I guess more of a receiver, more open, more, I don't know. And I mean, we all have kind of variations of this, and there are reasons and ways to when you need to go and be more pushy. But it's definitely something that I've seen in the last 25 years that I've been doing this. I remember one time when I had a short film at the short film corner in Cannes. So we're at Cannes. It's like amazing. I'm at one of these networking things or these, kind of like get-togethers. And I'm talking to a guy, and we're literally like in the middle of a conversation when this other guy just kind of comes up and is like, "Hey, I'm so and so, and this is my project," and just starts like pitching his project. And the guy and I kind of look at each other, and it was like, okay, like what's going on here? Um, and again, being aggressive, being confident, all of these things have served many people well. There are also many of us who being aggressive and being assertive and confident doesn't necessarily come across well. And there are also those of us, many of us, who aren't very good at doing the aggressive, hello, how are you, shake your hand kind of thing. Um, and again, I think a lot of it is context. I think a lot of it is who it is that you're talking to. So these are some tips for things to just be mindful of. And I mean, I'm a talker. I'm a talker. I can talk for hours. I can take up the whole conversation, and I don't even necessarily like mean to. I'm just a talker. So again, these are things that I have to remind myself to be mindful of. So, a couple of things. One is don't only talk about yourself. Ask questions and listen to what the other people are saying. And if you've met these people at previous events, follow up on what you remember of that conversation. Like, oh, well, last time we met, you were working on this script. How is that going? Tell me about it. So, there's that kind of give and take. So if you find yourself just only talking about yourself or only talking about your project, just find a natural moment to like take a breath and be like, and what about you? And just throw it back. It's a game of tennis, or ping pong or pickleball or whatever it is. If you have the ball the whole time, it is not a game. Nothing is happening. So, again, be mindful of it, especially if you're a talker like me. Um, Also, at these networking events, it can be kind of awkward. You're talking to somebody and then somebody else kind of comes up. So if somebody else is standing there, and I've certainly been the one awkwardly standing next to a bunch of people, maybe invite them in. Like again, at a moment where you kind of feel like here's a natural break to whatever it is that I'm saying, say, "Oh, and hello, who are you? This is my name, this is what I do, what do you do?" And just kind of start acknowledge that there are other people in the group. Don't be in a group of 5 people where you're just kind of locking in with this one person. Although again, that does happen and that's okay. And usually other people in that little group might be kind of, but you can, with a little bit of self-awareness, you can kind of read the room or sense kind of what's going on. And so for those of you who struggle with that, I would just, again, take, start practicing some moments where you kind of take inventory, where you're kind of like, okay, I'm going to stop talking for a moment and like go get a drink or go to the bathroom or just go sit down, get some water, do something else. And just kind of think about like, okay, what are some of the things or the social cues that maybe were there or that I missed or things like that. And this is, I think, one of the key things. And for, friends of mine who do this, I'm not saying it's bad that you do it. I'm just saying I don't personally feel comfortable do it. And when I'm on the receiving end, I feel a little like this is a lot. Um, I would not give anybody anything without asking, so whether even if it's a business card, but I wouldn't, it's like obviously this kid at Cannes, he was practically like pulling out his script out of his bag, like ready to just hand it off, which again, if you've ever, listened to or read Hollywood stories, you know, this is almost like what they tell you to do. It's like always be ready to hand off that script because, you never know. And I I think in this day and age, especially with the digital capabilities and connecting over Instagram and email and other things, I think you can take a little bit more casual approach. I'm definitely open and curious to comments and disagreements on this. But I like, for example, I would never be talking to somebody about my project and then be like, "Oh yeah, I'll send you the link, so you can watch it." Like I wouldn't offer, I would wait for them to ask. Wait for people to ask for anything. You can offer to exchange contact info, like, "Hey, are you on Instagram? Do you want to, that is something that you can kind of offer, but I wouldn't just kind of push your product into their hands. I was looking back through some, social media DMs, and again, it's kind of very clear. They're the people that kind of are spamming everyone, and you don't even get like an introduction. It's like dating where you just get like immediate, images that you didn't ask for. That is the equivalent of this kind of like pusher thing. It's like the immediate the immediate nude where you're like, nope, did not ask for that, did not want it. And obviously, again, hopefully your films or your scripts or your stories are not the equivalent of a bad nude, but again, it can certainly feel that way. So, I've gotten these outreaches over the years, and when I was working at Swamp, I would get it all the time. Somebody would call and be like, "I've got this great idea," and they'd be like, "Blah blah blah, blah, this is my idea," and they wouldn't like I was just kind of like, "Great, I'm glad you have this awesome idea. Like, good for you, go do it." And there wasn't a clear ask even on what they wanted me to do for them. Like, am I supposed to take this idea now it's my idea? Like, am I supposed to do this for you? Like, what is the ask here? And then when I have people reach out over email or DMs or things like that, there are definitely again the spammers who clearly have not done any research, and I'm a pretty open book. Like you can find a lot of information about me. So if you tell me something about what I'm doing, or you're like, like what I like and what I do, and it's clearly wrong and easily wrong, um, then it shows you haven't done your research, and I don't really know why you know, where to go from there. Like, how am I supposed to respond? Am I supposed to correct you? Like, you've just kind of pushed all this information into my lap, and I'm supposed to reward that by responding to your DM. When I send out emails where it's like, you're trying to connect with people or trying to get somebody's attention, but I try and do it in as human a way as possible, where it's like I am recognizing what this person is doing. I've done my research. I know enough to know what's going on currently, or I inquire about it, like, hey, I'm really curious or interested in what you've posted. I'd like to learn more. show interest in the other person, and um, and that again, that goes a long way and often sets up a conversation. And from that conversation, who knows, something might develop where you might have a future collaborator.